Hello folks and welcome back to another rebuild, and today we're going to be going over to Italy and to a team I don't think I've actually ever done a rebuild for. They are sitting in Serie A and they have not won a major competition, I don't think, in their history. They have won the lower tier divisions, but not the Serie A or the Italian Cup or anything like that. And I'm not sure how they sit in Europe. I believe they were in Europe once. Can't remember how far back it is. I believe they got knocked out in the qualifying rounds. But please do correct me on that if that isn't the case or is the case. So, EMPOLI is a team that we're going to manage. And we're going to try something different as well, as we are going to go 1 year into the future. So we will be playing the 24-25 season. So as we join them in the 24-25 season, they are predicted to finish 18th. So relegation fodder, I'm guessing. They have got a £2 million transfer budget, which we will be using. We won't be not using this at all. And just under £500,000 a week on wages. And the cup competitions, like I say, Serie B, I think that's Serie C, and I think that was a Serie C Cup as well. So, yeah, nothing too major here. So, Italian Cup, they want us to get to the first round, and it looks like last season they finished 8th. Incredible. The favoured formation, I believe, the 4-3-3 DM. Yeah, I could get on board with that, or 2 DMs, whichever works better, or depending on what sort of players we have got, we could go diamond. The board have outlined the long-term vision: play entertaining football, develop players using the youth system, sign players from the lower levels of the domestic game. Okay, signing players under the age of 23 for the first team. They want young players. I can definitely get on board with that, but we've got to have some really good players. So minimum 3-year contracts for first team players. Avoid relegation. Be competitive in the cup competition as well. Our aim is to try and get into at least the top 10 and battle for Europe, try and get into Europe, and hopefully win a cup or a competition of sorts in the next 5 seasons. And that will be a rebuild well done, I feel. And if it's any more than that, fantastic. So we've got €22.5 million in the bank. Now, you may have noticed from the first screen it was in pounds. I have since changed that. I must remember before I start doing these to change the currency. I always forget, so I do apologise. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't happen again. But €22 million in the bank, and they've only given us just over €2 million in the transfer kitty. We would like a little bit more, actually, if you don't mind. So let's make a quick board request and see if they... Oh, okay, next season's budget. Okay, hopefully we'll have some money left over. Have they got any debts or loans? Nothing. That's what we like to see. Just a little bit of transfer debt. That's about it. Staffing wise, okay. We'll move swiftly along, but yeah, we have to sort that out. And more importantly, the squad. So, bearing in mind they want us to have 23 and under when we're signing players. So the oldest player, we've only got one player at 30. Giarsi. Looks pretty good, actually. Is he a cam? Left winger. Okay. I mean, I don't think he's going down any time soon, but yeah, probably another year or so, and yeah, his stats will start going down. To be honest, it's quite a relatively young side, which is good, and most of the best players have still got a good few years left on the contracts, which is nice. If we have a look at the other end of the spectrum, we've got a 15-year-old Baldrini. Has he got potential? Can we play 15-year-olds in Serie A? Is that a thing? Midfielder, can he play on the wing? We might have to send him out on loan. I don't think he'll be good enough for the first team, to be fair. Jamie Sherwood, 18-year-old defender. Yeah, some of these, probably not yet. I mean, at 20 years old, a 2-star, I expect better, but he could be the next best thing. Exciting young prospect who isn't far from first team level. Fazzini, 21 years old. That's where you want to see your players. 4-star, 5-star potential, 21 years old, middle of the park. Bonus. That looks pretty good. I'm thinking of a diamond already if we haven't got any wingers, because I would like to see him play somewhere. He can play cam though, so that's going to be quite handy. We've also got Haas, Swiss, 28-year-old. Only 721 caps, so nothing for the first team. Doesn't look too bad. Probably struggling. We've got Liam Henderson, 28 years old. Again, not brilliant, but can play midfield. Originally at Celtic. Well, he's done well for himself, hasn't he? Empoli buying him for 1.5 mil. 22 games last season. Bolladinelli, 23 years old. That's what I like to see, some of these players coming through. So we've got one DM at least anyway. Pizzella, wing back left, 26 years old. Good stuff. Ardian Ismaili. Wow, okay, that looks pretty nice as well. 27 years old. And what about high potential players? So apart from Boldrini, which I am tempted with, but he's only 15 years old and his stats aren't really up there, to be fair. We've also got Spendi. He can play because I'm sure we signed him before after a few seasons and he does come good. It's where do you play him? Where indeed? I mean, he could play out on the wing, he could play up front, depending on what our forwards are like. But I think he's a pretty good player though. 9 goals in 36 and he's only 21 years old. Fazzini, we've got Garino. Defender, he's only 2-star. Actually, physicals don't look that bad at all for him. Definitely as a backup, 20 years old, could go out on loan as well. Jamie Sherwood. Yeah, I mean, there is quite a few players. Nabian as well, striker. Probably not the strongest. 8 goals in 32, out on loan. So we have loaned him out a few times. Yeah, we've got a relatively young squad, some with high potential, but I don't think they are ready for the first team. So I think what we're going to have to do is look for a formation and then hopefully try and slot some of these players in it. As you can see from the transfers out, we really didn't make that much. We just had an awful lot of players going out on loan. And I mean a lot of players. That's just insane. So moving on to the transfers in. Because we moved on a year before we started this, the rebuild, there were quite a few transfers that were already pre-done. This is the list of transfers in. There's 10 million euros on spend. So we only made the one transfer of the money that we had. So all the transfers that were probably done in the previous season, namely Ola, he looks a phenomenal player for 3.5 million euros. I mean, that's fantastic. Wow, well, that's a pretty good player out on the wing. Antov, he is our player. The player that I brought in, somebody to go at the back. I felt like we needed another centre-back, a decent centre-back, and he has got some potential. He's a 3-star already, 23-year-old Bulgarian. He looks very, very good as well. Shapendi, he was actually a transfer in as well for this year. 2.2 million. So here's me thinking, oh, these players are already at the club. Well, this is why. He comes in for 2.2 from Cecina. Cherry is another player coming in from Como. Again, players that we had no control over. He's 28 years old, so that doesn't go anywhere near what they want us to bring in. So I found that really bizarre signing, up to 1.6 million. And then just a couple of other players as well, including player from Torino on loan. Again, another decent player, a centre-back, but I'm not really interested in these players though. To be fair, I want our players to play. So with that in mind, these are the players that we have brought in. So Spendi, he wasn't one of our players, but a player, now we've got him, I would like to see him develop at this club. Fazzini is blocked in as well, the young player, and Antov as well. If we bring in our best 11, Antov still remains in that position, which is pretty good, but I want to make sure he does play the rest of the season. He is our player. Fazzini, he's not there at all, and Spendi does keep his place up top. And as you can see, we've changed the formation a little bit to a 4-2-3-1. We brought Ola back to midfield because he can play in that position. He's pretty good at it as well, so it helps us out a little bit as well. Fazzini would normally go in that position as a shadow striker and another player there. So it's kind of a little bit disjointed. It's almost like a 4-2-3-1. We're just being a little bit more efficient with our players and the positions that they can play in. And I have to say, after the initial first couple of games where we changed it to the formation that you just saw rather than the traditional 4-2-3-1, we've done very well from this point on here where we win 4-2. So our first game was in the first round, Italian Cup against Bari, winning that 4-3. I think we've surpassed expectations. I think we were expected to reach the first round. Well, we've reached the second round now. We drew with Salento 1-1 in the league. We beat Hellas Verona and we beat Genoa. Close, but we're still putting goals in the back of the net as well, so which is more important. And at the moment, we are lying in 8th position. Just that one loss, 7 points, 2 off AC Milan, who are 3 for 3 together with Inter and Juventus. And also Napoli 3 for 3 as well. I mean, there's How many teams are on there already? I mean, that's just insane. 5 teams on 9 points. Crazy. Pretty difficult, I think, to break into the top 10, let alone a top 6, but we'll see what we can do. We can only improve over the next couple of seasons and with the more money as well. So let's jump into our first season. Let's see what we can do. And hopefully we'll end up in the top 10 and a little bit more cash. And that is not a bad finish for the boys. 8th position. Now, I was looking at last season, the first season that we did simulate straight off. They actually finished in 14th, so I'm not sure where 8th position came from. So, yeah, a massive improvement from the previous season at least. Anyway, so in our first season, proper 8th position and 2 points off a European spot as well. 57 goals scored, 46 against. Only 10 games lost. That's not bad. And a plus goal difference, which is always an added bonus. Fiorentina are below us, Udinese as well. Torino. It's not a bad finish to the season. Just under 30 points behind AC Milan, who win the league from Napoli, then Inter. Yeah, some way to go, but I think we're making big progress. And competition-wise, we've got all the way to the quarter-finals of the Italian Cup as well. That's pretty good. Losing... well, being hammered by Inter away from home. In fact, all the home teams won there. AC Milan, Napoli, Inter and Atalanta as well. So who did go on and win it? AC Milan. Fair dues, the League and Cup domestic double. Squad, which is a very, very big squad, I may add, with a couple of youngsters that we are proud to have, Spendi and Fazzini, who have done pretty well. 20 and 4 for Spendi. 12 and 10 for Fazzini. Maybe we just adjust the formation a little bit, I think. Maybe have one cam player in there. And Antov, how did he do? He did play 41 games, 2 goals, which isn't too bad. 11 assists for Solbakken as well, who we push back. Maybe we push him back up front and maybe go to the more traditional 4-2-3-1 possibly. That might have to happen. Other than that, not really much else happening from everybody else, which is quite disappointing. Our goalkeeper, though, he did well, but I think it's a market that we are going to have to explore at some point. A new goalkeeper will be required, but again, it all depends on the money that we're going to be having. And that is, wow. Okay, I mean, that's taken me a little bit by surprise. 20 million euros. Goodness me. If we can't get a goalkeeper at least out of this, I will be very disappointed. We start off with Alessandro Bianco coming to the club as a DM. 22 years old from Fiorentina for 5.5 million euros. He looks pretty good, actually. Good potential on him as well to play alongside, I think it's Bardinelli, which I think is going to be quite a good partnership. Also, Grassi can play up there as well, and Haas as well. So we've got a decent midfield now. From AC Milan, we bring in left back David Bartisaghi, 19 years old, bags of potential. I think he's got what it takes to go all the way, and we're locking him in for this season. I'm on that left-hand side. We have got Pizzella and Liberato as well. So I just want to see what this youngster can do. If he can improve, which looks like he is doing as well. Physicals look really good. He's got great concentration as well, and he can cross the ball. So hopefully he'll whip them balls in and get a couple of assists. From Medina for £4.8 million, we bring in Matteo Rizzo, a goalkeeper. Again, another young goalkeeper. Bags of potential. Easily our best goalkeeper between the sticks at the moment. Whether or not he will be our finished product, I don't know. We've still got another 3 seasons after this one, but he is improving as well. Finally, from Salzburg for £4.1 million, we bring in Van der Bremt, a right back, 23 years old. You can see where we're going with this. We're buying young players, which is what they wanted right at the beginning. They were hard to come by. These players are quite cheap, but a lot of potential. And again, look at them arrows all pointing up. He's ever improving as well. He's had 3 games for us with 3 assists, playing at a 7.7. That's remarkable. So tactically, we have switched it back up to a 4-2-3-1, 2 DMs. It's worked in the past. This is the go-to formation for FM24. I'm sure you guys have played it as well. I tried the other formation at the beginning of the season. It didn't quite work, so reverted to this, and it's done for us okay. And we've locked in the youngster there. So if we pick our best 11, Pizzella comes in, and everything is as what we would expect it to be. I would just like a few more players on a lot more yellow stars than that, I think. But they're all young. Give them time. Like I said, we started off a bit sluggish, couple of losses in the first 4 or 5 games, and then we changed tactic and we beat Napoli and we drew with AC Milan, which is phenomenal, really. We're currently lying in 10th position, win, draw and a loss. We are 4 points off the lead Lazio, who have played a game more than us, so we could easily close that gap to 1 point, and we enter the 3rd round in the Italian Cup. So let's move on to season 2 and let's see if we can improve on last season's close call on a European spot. Wow, just look what a change of formation can do. We are in 4th position, folks. Champions League football for next season. That could be a qualifying round possibly, but wow, 7 points ahead of Roma. Atalanta and Juventus are below us as well. So are Lazio. Goodness me. Teams have fallen or they've just not performed this season. AC Milan run away with it, but we are only 8 points behind them. And we were on level points with Napoli and Inter. They must be going head to head. And Napoli lost to us 3-0. Does that mean we lost to them heavily? 2-1. So why did we not finish above them? And we've got a better goal difference. And we scored more goals. I feel like we've been done a dirty here, folks. We should be in 3rd spot. I'm not understanding why that isn't the case. If anybody could let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I think we've been done a dirty here. And Shapendi gets 1 goal off, sharing the golden boot with Lukaku and Martinez. Wow, what a season he's had. Angerin and Van der Bremt as well. 1 off from getting the most assists in the league as well. And Bianco and Partisagi, yeah, a lot of yellow cards, but that's to be expected. We're scrapping for everything. That is really, really good. I'm really happy with that. And we got all the way to the quarterfinals in the Italian Cup, losing to Roma 3-0. Oh no. Juventus beat Napoli, Atalanta beat Hellas Verona, and Inter lost to AC. So who did go and win it? AC Milan beating Roma 2-1. That's the domestic double for AC Milan. But look at how well we've done though. We were top at one point. First, for a couple of weeks we were top. Oh, we made top again, 3rd. And we never really came out of that top 3, top 4. And Spendi gets 20 goals and 6 assists for the season. Looking really, really good now. 23. His development must look really good. 14 finishing. His physicals look really good as well. If we just have a look at his progress over the past couple of seasons. Wow, they have definitely gone up. Fazzini, 18-4, superb in the cam position. 16-13 for Angerin. Solbakken, 10-12, still putting the business in. 27 years old now. We may look to replace him, possibly. Cashing on him at least, anyway. We've also got Nico. He's 3-3. He's out on loan. But Nabian did play 3 games, 3 goals, 26 off the bench. So that's pretty good as well. And David, 8 assists for the season. 14 for Bremt as well. That's marvellous stuff. And Rizzo, our goalkeeper, 21 years old. 11 clean sheets, 48 conceded in 40. That's magic. Now I'm hoping that we can improve a little bit more and really go for it. Because I'm hoping now, because we've got Champions League football, they're going to want us to compete. And that budget doesn't say so. We have got 5 million in the red, so 13.5 we really haven't got. But we do have 100% of the transfer revenue as well. So if we do sell anybody, it is ours to spend. Starting with the outs first, 950,000 euros coming in. Not an awful lot really, expense-wise. Some of the players we'd managed to offload, some of the older ones, and some of the ones that are not getting any game time, just on the fringe. Not going for much money, as you can see. The most going for 450,000 was Stefan to Crystal Palace. Apart from that, that is it. So a couple on a free, few out on loan. Yeah, we had a horrendous window this time around. However, from Cagliari, we spent majority, in fact, probably about 90% of our budget, 9.5 million euros for Matteo Prati, DM player, 22 years old, lots of potential, looks really nice as well, and to partner either Bianco or Luca Ballardinelli or Grassi in the middle, or even Haas, it just enforces our midfield and makes it look really, really good. Just hoping that he can kick on and reach that potential as soon as possible. And then we bring in some squad depth really. 17-year-old Marco Perez, £100,000 from Lazio, and from Bologna for 250,000 Federico Raviglia, goalkeeper. I realised we hadn't a backup goalkeeper. For some reason they all vanished. I think we either let them go, they went on a free. I don't know. But we ended up with just one goalkeeper. That's Rizzo. So yeah, we needed somebody in pronto for that. That's only the reason for this signing. On a free transfer, we're bringing Alessandro Mercati. Again, another midfielder. Again, it's just squad depth. So we're going to be sticking with the same formation. We're going to lock in Prati. And I think that is about it. Apart from the inside forward on the left-hand side, he's going to support rather than attack. And Prati is going to be on defensive duties, DLP, not support. They are the only changes to the formation. If we pick our best 11, Prati moves out of the squad. But apart from that, it's how I would expect the side to line up. The results have gone our way. We've only conceded 4 goals. 3 of them were in one game against Udinese in a friendly. And we smashed Olympiacos 7-0. Where did that come from? However, we started our campaign in the Serie A with a 2-0 win over Fiorentina, Salento 1-0 and Sassuolo 1-0 as well. I don't mind as long as we don't concede goals and we score goals. That's the name of the game. Champions League, which we have got this season, we've drawn Maccabi Tel Aviv, Napoli, Manchester City, Dortmund, AEK, Fenerbahce, Liverpool and Leverkusen. That's going to be a challenge. We're currently top of the table. Stop the press. We're here. We've done it. 3 for 3 so far. 2 ahead of Juventus, who have dropped points. And AC Milan have lost a game already. And that was to Juventus. So thank you, Juventus. Inter all the way down here. But there's a lot of teams on 6 as well. And in the Champions League, well, actually, I expect us to be nearer the bottom. But 29th seeded. I'll take that. And we enter the Italian Cup in the 3rd round. So let's jump into season number 3. Let's see how we do in Europe. And see if we can maintain another top 4 finish. Okay, we finish in 5th position, 70 points, just ahead of Napoli. We did have a good run in, 3 wins from the final 5 games. Juventus take the title though. We lost 8 games this season, so slightly more than last season, but we only conceded 37 and scored 73 goals, so it's still pretty good. A good goal difference as well. Not sure it was the same points as last season, actually. We got 79 last season. Still, 70 points is not to be scoffed at, and we have got Inter, AC, Lazio and Juventus ahead of us, but we do finish ahead of Roma, Atalanta, Napoli. This time around we don't get anything on the board. Spendi doesn't get anywhere on there. We've got Pedro to come against Martinez and Vlahovic this time. Competition wise, so we'll have a look at the Champions League in just a second. Italian Cup, we get to the quarterfinals yet again. Napoli beat us at 2-1. Very disappointed. Did Juventus? No, Napoli take the final. So we did lose to the eventual winners, so that's not too bad. The Champions League, we got out of the group stage by looks of things. We lost 3-2 to Real San Sebastian, despite winning the second leg 1-0. How did we fare in the league phase? We only just qualified in 24th. 9 points, 3 wins. We beat Fenerbahce, AEK and Maccabi Tel Aviv. But we did lose to the other big teams. But not by much though. Squad, 25 goals for Spendi this time round with 6 assists. That's superb. Andren, he got 16 and 5. 10 and 12 for Ola. We are going to have to think about replacing him. But he is in a superb morale stasis at the minute. So we'll probably leave him as he is actually. I mean, our front forwards aren't doing too bad. Prati, 6 and 6, not too bad for Zini. He's had a big drop off, 5 and 6. That's not good. That's disappointing more than anything, I think. Our goalkeeper there, Rizzo's doing pretty well, 43 conceded, 21 clean sheets this time, which is pretty good. And our backup goalkeeper, 9 conceded in 6 with 1 clean sheet. That's not bad either. So our side is starting to take shape. We still need a few more improvements, I feel. But we do need money, and wow, they're not backing us again. We're in Europe once more. Hopefully taking the drop down, European competition might help us out a little bit. But 12 million euros to spend, and not much in the wage budget either. We've got contracts to renew. We're going to have a better transfer window than we did last season, that's for sure. Once again, we start off with the transfers out. 1.9 million coming back into the club's coffers. To be fair, not an awful lot. We lost really. Henderson was the only real player of note. He's gone to Parma for 875,000. Wasn't getting much game time in the end, so we decided to let him go. And plus he was into his 30s now. We did lose Haas as well. He's gone to Basel for 95,000. Sane as well, defender I think he was, had gone to Sampdoria. I wasn't too happy about it. Same with Henderson going for teams in Italy, but it is what it is. and nobody else was biting, so up to 89,000 for Sané and 210 for Kakase Liberato. He's gone to Sevilla, and one of our youngsters going to Brescia for up to 175,000, which did enable us a little bit of wiggle room in the transfer market, and we managed to bring in a few players. The first one being from Brianza for €2 million, Samuel Vignato. He can play anywhere in the attacking. I felt like we needed another backup player, play either in midfield or on either wing. Just squad depth for this young 23-year-old, and plus he's Italian. I'm trying to get all Italian players because there is a quota that you have to fill in, so that's what we're doing here as well. And plus there wasn't really much out there for the taking, to be fair. From Bologna for 3.1 million, we bring in Giovanni Fabian, 24 years old. He looks superb for the price we paid. He looks pretty good. Even though he can play midfield, I think we have changed the formation just so we can bring Fabian in, because I really don't want some of these stats to go down at all, and I think he's going to get better and better. He's had an assist in 4 games already for us. Currently playing at 6.97, but that'll hopefully improve in time. And we raid Bologna again. They were quite happy to do so, actually. 8.1 million, I think it was, or something like that. Niccolò Cambiaghi, left winger. He can play up front as well, but I think we mainly bought him for left wing. We don't really have that many good players that can play on the left-hand side. I know Angerin can, but we'll see what happens. But Vignato can as well, actually. So, yeah, so we're going to be pretty healthy depth-wise up front anyway. We have locked in a couple of players like Fazzini, Fabian and Prati. I think them three really, I really want to build the team around if at all possible. But if we pick our best 11, Fabian comes out for Fazzini, who drops back, and Andrin goes into the cam. Fazzini plays better in the cam role, I think, so that's where we want him. But other than that, everything is as it should be, or as I would like to pick. And it hasn't gone all our way. However, we did beat Bologna 3-2. After stealing their players. We lost to Roma and Juventus, but look at that result. 5-0 against AC Milan at home. Antoff, Spendi, Ola and Bremt all scoring goals. I mean, 5-0 against AC Milan. That's mad. The Europa League, this time we've got Antwerp, Aris, Ferencváros, we've got Benfica, Wolfsburg, Rakov, Anderlecht and Galatasaray. I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting to come out of this group with flying colours. We are currently lying in 8th position, 2 wins, 2 losses, 4 points off the leaders, and we're predicted 23rd. I mean, that don't make sense. I mean, we have got Fenerbahce, Newcastle, Napoli are in here as well, Bilbao, Benfica, Ajax. Yeah, so still some hard teams in there, but I still think we're probably one of them hard teams, and I don't think anybody would like to come and play against us, although Brighton are here too. So with season 4 just around the corner, let's get on with it and see where we end up. Well, what can I say? It's another top 7, top 6 finish even. Champions League spot this time, which suggests we may have won a competition, which is amazing, which would be quite remarkable. Our first major trophy for the club. 64 points, we fall behind Napoli, losing our last game of the season, which I would guess of course it would be Napoli. Final game of the season, 6-pointer. We could have gone ahead of them if we won that one. So it seems to be Napoli all the time, doesn't it, really? They just seem to surprise us. 12 losses though, which is quite a lot. 66 goals, not an awful lot. But we do concede 45 goals, but we're some way off. Wow, Inter Milan. Goodness me, they finished 21 points ahead of second place Juventus. Did they lose to us? No. Did they draw to us? No. Wow, 33 wins from 30. That is one heck of a season from Inter Milan. That's just crazy. Spendi does get our golden boot, but not the league's. Martinez wins that by 10 goals, but it's nice to see an Empoli player back in the charts there. The Italian Cup though, we got all the way to the semi-finals, losing to AC Milan, who after that hammering we gave them, seem to have got their own back on us. 2-0 over the 2 legs, 2 losses, 1-0 wins. They played Inter, and I'm guessing Inter are going to win it. Yes, that's the league and cup double for them. However, we have got the Europa League. We've won a European trophy. Our first major trophy for the club. Let me check if that's the case. It is our first major trophy. That is absolutely superb. So let's take it one step at a time then. The league phase, we finished in third position, winning 6 games. Galatasaray, Wolfsburg, Benfica, Ferencváros, Aris and Antwerp. I wouldn't have expected anything less. Anderlecht and Rakov we did draw to, but 18 goals difference, 20 points, 1 point off Ajax and Newcastle, who both did lose. Didn't lose to us though, but we were unbeaten. Looking at the tables, we didn't have a top goal scorer in that one either. So we go straight to the round of 16 where we smash AZ 7-1. Quarterfinals, we beat Utrecht 4-1. Semis, we played Brighton. We win that on penalties despite losing the second leg 2-0. And Napoli get through Lille 3-2 only just, which ends in the final with us winning a remarkable 3-1 victory. Ola and Fazzini scoring both the goals. I don't know what they were playing at the back, but we steal it. But Ola with a lovely steal and a lovely sweep into the corner of the goal after 3 minutes. Wow. We do concede one straight away though before we turn on our charm. Napoli, just one of them teams which Napoli, Empoli could be mistaken for both really, to be fair. But I feel we deserved this trophy. We've been edging for one for quite a while. I think it's the closest we've got to even the league double really, with the Italian Cup as well, getting to the semi-finals. Fazzini with a fantastic goal and Ola finishing it off with a penalty to make it 3-1. 32-8 for Spendi, fantastic. 14-14 for Ola. Fazzini 14-9. 12-4 for Andrin as well. 14 assists for our new signing Cambiaghi as well. Anybody else hit the spot really? 7 for Vignato. He did pretty well considering he only had 5 starts. 5 assists there for Bartisaggi as well. 3 for Prati. I mean, it's relatively good. There's quite a few people helping out as well, and a goalkeeper, Rizzo, 56 conceded with 21 clean sheets. That's pretty good as well. But it doesn't mean anything if we can't go for the title next season, or at least close the gap on the winners. I mean, 100 odd points, that is just insane. But we do need the money, and if not, we may have to look to sell in some of our bigger players like Spendi or even Fazzini, both in the 70s as well. I mean, 57 million for Antov. That's what he's worth. 27 years old at the back. We don't really want to lose him, but we may have to make that painful decision. But it all depends what we got going into the final season. What? 242 million euros even. What on earth has happened here? Have we had some sort of takeover? I mean, that is just insane. Goodness me, that changes a lot of things. Right, let's have a quick look. Club info. I think it's in there somewhere. Landmarks. New chairperson Garcia takes over. Tycoon. We've had a Tycoon takeover. I don't think I've had that in any of my rebuilds at all. That changes a lot of things. 242 million euros. We could virtually get anybody we want. So the transfers out on that massive bombshell of a Tycoon taking over. Let's start with the outs first. We do raise 5.25 million euros with the loss of Massati. We've got Prados going as well. Seri going and Pizzella also, and a couple on the free, but that is about it. But 5 million euros raised, just added to the masses of money that we had to spend. First one was Ardagula. I didn't have any hesitation about signing this young lad. He wanted to come to us as well, actually, so I was quite impressed. 155k a week, 65 million euros. That's all Spurs let him go for, which I was very, very surprised, and obviously snapped their hands off them. And you can see why. Wow. From Strasbourg for 40 million euros, we're bringing Abakar Seiler, defender. Again, looks really, really superb and can play alongside Antov at the back. We just look absolutely superb at the back now. Some quality plays in. The next 2 players are from Mainz. We bring in Duranville for about 70 odd million euros. There wasn't many wingers out there really, to be perfectly honest, that wanted to come, and for 145 grand a week, because of course we had loads of money, he said yes, and he can play either side of the wings, which will suit us down to the ground. 22 years old, looks superb. And again from Mainz, like I say, winger on the left hand side. So both Mainz wingers coming to us quite happily actually, and very, very young, coming to us on 5-year contracts, I think. Again, another youngster, looks wicked is what I'm going to say, and he's a wonder kid as well, as described by the media. In the end, it was about 260 million euros spent, so yeah, I've not had that much money in a long while to spend, so that's been quite nice for us to bring in some youngsters for the future, which will enable us to go on future raids as well. So the formation, we are pushing the DMs into midfield now, and this is the formation we are going to be going with. If we pick our best 11, it looks something like this. Not how I wanted it to look, I'm not going to lie. Gula should be in there, and Yoon there, and Duranville there. I think I'm going to have to lock them three in them positions. Other than that, it's as I would pick it. So yeah, I'm going to have to lock them in, because I don't want them to switch around. And with that being said, we got another European trophy. The UEFA Super Cup. We beat Barcelona on penalties. We scored all ours, and Xerxes now plays for Barcelona. Wow, okay. And Samuel Chukwueze, he missed his penalties as well. So is that 4-2, 5-2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-2 on penalties. I'll take that. We did start the campaign against Hellas Verona, 4-0 thrashing, a 2-1 win over Cremonese, and then we lost to Atalanta, 54th minute goal by Pedro, and then Sassuolo we beat 2-1 at home with Gula and Duranville both scoring. The Champions League, which I'm hoping to do a little bit better now. Celtic, Juventus, Real San Sebastian, Olympiacos, PSV, Bayern Munich and Monaco. Going to be another tough one, but I would expect us to get out the group. And currently we're lying in 7th position, 3 points off the leaders Atalanta, who are 4 for 4 at the moment. We are predicted around about 26th in the Champions League, but we defied the odds last season, so let's go and do it again. Confirmation of the Super Cup win, and we don't enter the Italian Cup until the 3rd round. Right, now we've got all that out of the way, let's jump into our final season and let's see what these young lads can bring us. Who says money doesn't give you success? Look at that, folks. We're in 3rd position, level on points with Juventus and AC Milan. Joint top. We had a very good run in as well, last 5 games. Look at that. We could have stole it from the rest of them. But Juventus, they did lose to us, and they lost to Juventus. Juventus didn't lose to either, so why did they not win the league? They've got better goal difference as well. We lost to Juventus twice, but we did beat AC Milan. I don't understand the rules on here. League sorting rules. Results between teams. Goal difference and goals scored. Teams' records against other teams of the same points will be sorted by rules in the following order. Goal difference. So, I don't get it. Juventus, from my reckoning, should have won it, but we've got a better goal difference than all of them. 94 goals we've scored, and 5 of them against Inter. That's pretty cool. That's a very, very good season for us. We finished 3 points ahead of Inter as well. Napoli, Atalanta, Roma, Udinese finished 9th, Lazio 10th. Parma finished bottom of the table as well. We've done really well, actually. That's the closest we've been to a league title. That is so close. Spendi gets the Golden Boot as well for the final season. Well done him. Duranville gets 14, the top assist maker, and Ardagula, 3rd best player in the league, and Fabian and Bartisaghi, most yellow cards. But we've done really, really well this season. Absolutely phenomenal. And to top things off, we get to the Italian Cup final, and we beat Inter 1-0. To go alongside our Super Cup as well. That is really, really good. How did we fare in the rest of the matches? 5-4 against AC Milan with a 5-2 second leg victory. Quarterfinals, we beat Juventus 1-0. We didn't have it easy, did we? 6-2 against Palermo, and we entered the 3rd round, and we did really well. The last 3 games just really, really hard for us. And Ardagula, most player of the match awards in the competition as well. 2 cup wins. We can't ask for more than that in our final season. Would have been nice to win the league. Just 1 point would have done it for us. We did everything we could. But the Champions League, we get knocked out in the playoff round. So that means we got past the group stage. Lost to Leipzig. What score was it? 4-2. Despite winning the second leg 2-0. We did get smashed in the first leg, obviously. But yeah, very, very close. The league phase, we finished in 11th position. They had us down here, didn't they? And 11th in the end. 4 wins. PSV, Olympiacos, Real San Sebastian and Juventus. Liverpool Celtic we got draws with. We got smashed by Bayern Munich 7-2. Good grief. And Monaco 4-1. Must have had injuries or tired players, but we did concede a lot of goals. Just a 1 goal difference after all that as well. Bayern Munich did top it. Dortmund were the only team unbeaten. So who went to win it? Dortmund got to the final, but they did lose to their compatriots Bayern Munich 3-1. So Bayern probably deservedly so winning the Champions League. But on a whole, 4 fronts, we did really well. 2 out of the 4. It's like waiting for a bus. Nothing and then everything comes all at once as well. Wow. Squad wise, 36 and 7 for Spendi. Ardagula, he gets 23 and 15. 20 and 13 for Yoon. Duranville 15 and 20. Our front line was superb. It can only get better and better, and they're well young as well, so plenty of time left in them. 72 goals conceded by Rizzo. Probably look to either increase our back line or get another goalkeeper possibly, but it's looking good though. And just out of curiosity, yeah, they're still playing the money in, which is nice. Staffing, yeah, almost the best. So I think we could definitely start dominating Serie A. And before we go as well, as always, let's have a look at the records. So the Europa League we have won. Super Cup we have won. Italian Cup we have won. We've won all the cups. We just want that league. That would have been absolutely the icing on the cake, I think. But can't ask for anything more than what we've done already, which is an amazing achievement. This last season was a record high for us, finishing it in 3rd. Most league wins in the season, 26. That's just gone as well, is it? Most league goals in the season, 94. Highest attendances, nothing. We did get highest scary seats, 577,000 against Liverpool. Highest league scoring match, 8-4 against Roma. Wow, and a high scoring match, yeah. That's 12 goals in a game. That's amazing. Most goals by a player in the season, Spendi gets that with 36. Most league goals by a player in the season, Spendi as well. He was our main striker. There's no doubt about it. Ola gets 7.22, the most highest rated player in a season. We did get most assists by a player, Duranville 20. Goodbye, he was in the end. Most clean sheets 21 by Rizzo. Ardagula, most player of the match awards 9. We are starting to break records there. Most matches won in a row 9. And most matches without scoring for, we don't really want to know that one. And most matches without conceded 6. That's pretty good going as well. Transfers 83 million was the most for Yoon from Mainz. That's our highest transfer, and the most highest transfer received was Vicaro in the first season that we simulated before we started the rebuild. That's pretty good. We broke quite a lot of records here. So I think that's where we're going to leave it. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Smash that like button as well if you enjoyed that. Let me know down in the comments who you would like to see rebuilt on the channel. And until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.